Hi Year 3, Miss Morgan here, ready for today's Comprehension, and this is for your Year 3 booklet, and today we are on pages 18 and 19, so make sure you've got the right page, and it's called Chicken School. Chicken School? How bizarre. I'm going to read the introduction for you. Chicken School is written from the perspective of a boy called Tim. Tim thinks he has the most boring family in the world and often drifts away into his own imagination to escape reality. This extract is taken from the start of the book and it begins with one of Tim's daydreams. So sometimes some of you daydream in our lessons, and that means that you just float off and you don't listen to anything. And you're in your own imagination and you're thinking about all sorts of things. Okay, so today I'm not going to read the text for you. I want you to read the text yourself, and Miss Morgan really enjoyed reading this. It's quite funny, so I hope that you have a little bit of a giggle when you read it. So make sure that you read it now and hit pause on the video, and they'll be ready to answer our questions. Okay, so I hope you have read the text really closely as well to help us with our answers. So number 1, why do you think the author has used so many exclamation marks on line 2? Now remember, the author is the person who has wrote the story. And exclamation marks, we use them in literacy all the time. And think, why do we use exclamation marks? What are we trying to do to that sentence? Now Miss Morgan says that she always wants a word or a sentence to stand out for some reason if she uses an exclamation mark. Let's read the sentence on line 2 together. The Wilkinson son of Whittingwall! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Do you think the author wants to make that statement stand out? Or do you think he wants you to skip past that statement? Have a think. Number 2. Do you think Tim is popular at school? And how can you tell? Now, I don't know if Tim's popular at school. I think from remembering reading the text that he wasn't very popular. Now he's got the world's most boring family, but let's see why. I'm going to read where it says, I found schoolmates with my highlighter. And finally, coming onto the stage now, it's their son, Tim, known to all his schoolmates, not that he has any, as a waste of space. Tim has absolutely nothing at all of interest to tell you. So he's known as a waste of space to the people at school. Now, a waste of space means, I don't need you in my life. You don't really mean anything to me. So, do you think he's very popular at school? Do you think he's got lots of friends? I don't think so. And remember to use because to tell me why he is or he isn't popular. Number 3. How does the author show that lines 1 to 9 are happening in Tim's imagination? So how does the author show that? Let's have a look at lines 1 to 9. So that's 1 to 9. Have a look at the text. Is the writing different? Now I could tell straight away when it said 1 to 9 that this text here is in italics. Now if you remember italics, it means that the text is slanted. Can you see that? That's slanted, and then this text is normal, it's straight. So I wonder if the author's used a different style of text to show that it's happening in Tim's imagination. Number 4. Who do you think the narrator is in the second half of the extract? And it's guiding us to lines 10 and 25. So where the text is straight and normal. So the narrator is the person telling the story. Okay, so who do we think it is? I'm going to read a bit of the text to see who is telling the story. So there you are, it's true. We are a boring family. Do you know what my dad does? So it must be the son. And what was the son's name? I'm not going to tell you. I want you to write it down. Number 5. Do you think that Tim is telling the truth when he says, that sounds fascinating, Dad, on line 15? And how can you tell? So fascinating means that you're captivated by it, okay? Whatever his dad says, he thinks, wow, that's amazing. So I'm going to read just from in front of line 15 so I can get a feel to whether Tim is telling the truth about being fascinated or not. Let's read it together from line 14. Then on Tuesdays, I look at beef and see if that's fit for eating or not. Oh, that sounds fascinating, Dad. What do you do if it isn't fit for eating? Now, I don't know whether you noticed, but his dad was saying something really boring here. And then when Tim goes to speak, he's got a full stop after oh. So it's almost as if he's going, oh, full stop. That sounds fascinating, Dad. Do you think he's being a little bit sarcastic? Do you think he's telling the truth about being interested? I don't think so. Okay, number 6. What do you think the author means when he says that Tim's mum sometimes comes home all a-flutter? Line 21. Now, if I'm thinking about the word all a-flutter, and I'd found that there, I know that butterflies flutter, and that means that they flap their wings quite rapidly, quite quickly. Sometimes when she comes in from work, she's all a-flutter because something amazing has happened. So what do you think the author means by saying his mum's all a-flutter? Think about how a butterfly flutters. And why would she be all a-flutter? Because something amazing has happened. Do you think that also means quite exciting? Number 7. Do you think you'd like to be part of the Whitkinson family? Explain your answer. Now, straight away from when I've read that text, I'd probably say no, because they're the world's most boring family. There's nothing interesting about them at all. You might say, yes, I would love to be part of the Whitkinsons family, because if they are boring, that means I can do whatever I want to. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your answers for that question. So have a go at today's learning. If you do get a little bit stuck, then ask somebody at home to help you, or they can send us an email in and we can explain the work to you. But if I'm honest, today's questions have been quite kind to us. So happy Thursday, and then I'll see you tomorrow for your last day of your learning for this week.